A chill as cold as winter hung in the air as the sun began to rise. Caden blew on his hands and rubbed them furiously against the wind as he stood by the wagon, where an empty manacle thumped against the wooden side. He glanced at the hills and mountains beyond. Where was Bridget now? What choice would she make? Would they meet again on the battlefield, or would she find a way to free her people? In the end, it was her choice alone. He had set her free. And now he had his own path to walk, one that would eventually lead to the Chardonnay. He let out his breath, a cold wisp in the air, and headed for the campsite where the healers slept. A couple blanket-covered mounds lay around a fire that had burned down to glowing embers. Caden grabbed a log from the small pile nearby and placed it on the coals, then blew softly. The sky steadily changed as dawn broke across the land. A few minutes later, and a robust fire roared. As he held his hands to the flame, he looked one more time to the airy mountains. Stay safe, Bridget. Stay warm. Minutes later, a group of Avanian soldiers marched his way. He remained hunched near the fire as they approached. He'd wondered how long it would take before they discovered Bridget was gone and that he freed her. She had almost half a night's head start. He flexed his fingers against the heat. He would try to give her more time. Captain Burton's shadow fell next to his knee. By order of the Southern Alliance, Caden, you are under arrest. At his words, some of the healers stirred and looked around. Master, Caden, he replied without turning. He didn't care about his new title, but he found a dark pleasure in reminding Captain Burton whom he was dealing with. Captain Burton paused behind him. Master, Caden, he finally said with a hint of sarcasm. Caden pushed off the ground. More healers awoke and watched the exchange with frowns. He brushed off his robes and turned around. What am I being arrested for? He crossed his arms and stood to his full height. Freeing a prisoner of the Alliance. He raised one eyebrow. He could deny it. He was sure they had no proof unless someone other than Travar had seen him free Bridget. But he was a truthsayer. Lies did not become him. I see, he said instead. Lead the way, Captain. He felt the stares of the healers behind him and heard their fading murmurs as he followed Captain Burton through the camp and toward the tents ahead, the same tents where, the night before, he had convinced Commander Warren and the others to let him use his power on Bridget. Bridget. She filled his thoughts again as he remembered fragments of her memories and soul. Her strength, her perseverance, her fighting spirit. If all the Nordics were like her, they were indeed fighting a powerful foe. Most of the camp still slept, despite the commotion Captain Burton and his men made as they escorted Caden to the commander's tent. Normally the soldiers would have been awake and preparing for another day of marching. No doubt his actions had delayed everyone. He didn't feel guilty about it. Upon entering the middle tent, he found the same group of men from the previous night. Commander Warren watched him from across the table with dark circles under his eyes, while it appeared a few of the others had risen hastily from sleep. Captain Burton shoved him from behind. Caden caught himself and looked back. I wouldn't touch me if I were you. After all, I'm not like Master Matthias. He raised his gloved hand as a reminder. Captain Burton opened his mouth, then closed it. The Nordic prisoner was discovered missing early this morning, Commander Warren said, and there are those who say they saw you with her again after you used your power on her. Where are those who say these things? Caden went to stand on the other side of the table. He glanced around. None of these men were present when he revisited her. Call in the soldier, Commander Warren said. One of the guards exited, then returned a minute later with a scrawny young man. The soldier glanced at Caden, then looked away. Caden vaguely recognized him as one of the men who had thrown stones at Bridget. Is this who you saw free the Nordic woman? Commander Warren asked.
to keep listening to this audiobook. I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.